A new front has opened in the debate over American education. On November 11, 2025, the American Parents Coalition, or APC, issued a warning, not about safety or holidays, but about the nation's two largest teachers' unions, the American Federation of Teachers and the National Education Association. The APC claims these unions have shifted from focusing on education to becoming powerful political machines. According to APC Executive Director Ale Marais, the unions now push a far-left ideology, sidelining the core mission of educating students. This isn't just a policy disagreement, it's a fundamental clash over the future of public education. Traditionally, unions advocated for teacher benefits and classroom conditions. Now, a growing movement of parents worries that political agendas are overtaking academics. The APC's warning is a rallying cry, urging families to question how union influence shapes curriculum and school culture. The group argues that union priorities may not align with what parents want for their children. The lookout aims to reveal where union dues go and what causes are being championed in the name of education. The APC wants parents to see beyond the surface and understand the broader impact of union power. This warning is designed to spark a national conversation about who controls what happens in America's classrooms. The debate is no longer just about contracts, it's about the direction of education itself. For parents, the message is clear. Pay attention, get involved, and demand transparency. The APC's core argument is that teachers' unions are putting politics before students. They allege the AFT and NEA are advancing a radical agenda, prioritizing social and political activism over academics. The APC points to union spending and public statements as evidence of a partisan focus. They argue that unions should be non-partisan advocates for education, not political powerhouses. The term indoctrination is used deliberately. The APC claims unions are promoting a single ideology in classrooms. This, they say, comes at the expense of essential subjects like reading, math, and science. Parents worry that classroom time is being diverted from academics to social commentary. The APC sees this as a betrayal of trust between families and schools. Unions might argue that social justice is part of education, but the APC believes the balance has tipped too far. The real conflict is over the purpose of school, academic excellence, or political activism. The APC wants schools to focus on foundational skills, not shaping students into activists. This debate is fueling a growing movement of parents demanding change. The question remains, who decides what children learn, educators or families? The answer will shape the future of American education. The APC urges parents to follow the money to understand union priorities. Their report claims the AFT and NEA have funneled hundreds of millions into progressive political groups, not classroom resources. Organizations like the Tides Network and 1630 Fund are cited as major recipients. The APC argues this spending proves unions are more focused on politics than education. They highlight donations to political action committees, overwhelmingly supporting one party. For the APC, this is evidence that unions act as political arms, not neutral advocates for students. The group warns that this politicizes the entire education system. Parents are encouraged to question whether union dues are funding better schools or partisan battles. The APC wants families to see unions as massive financial operations with a clear political agenda. This, they argue, is a critical piece of the puzzle for understanding what's happening in public education. The debate over union spending is about more than money. It's about priorities. The APC is alarmed by the types of activism unions promote. They cite union-led boycotts and campaigns around diversity, equity and inclusion, or DEI, as divisive. The APC argues these initiatives push a specific worldview, alienating some families. Unions are also accused of targeting political opponents and engaging in partisan battles, rather than focusing on education. Climate activism is another concern. The APC worries students are being encouraged to become activists instead of learning balanced science. The group also points to union opposition to Supreme Court rulings that affirm parental rights over sensitive topics. The APC sees this as unions disregarding parents' authority in the classroom. For the parents' movement, these actions represent a shift away from education toward political advocacy. The APC believes this activism distracts from urgent academic needs. The debate is about whether schools should be arenas for activism or centers for learning. The curriculum is now a battleground. The APC claims unions use their influence to push DEI initiatives and critical race theory, which they argue can be divisive. Gender identity policies, including preferred pronouns, are another flashpoint. The APC questions the age appropriateness of these discussions and the lack of parental input. They also criticize union opposition to homeschooling, seeing it as an attack on parental choice. The APC insists parents have a right to know and approve what their children are taught. They argue curriculum should be transparent and focused on academics, not ideology. For the APC, this is about who has the final say in a child's education. The struggle over curriculum is a fight for parental authority. The APC points to the NEA's own 2025 handbook as evidence of a radical shift. They highlight passages blaming white supremacy culture for institutional racism, calling this divisive and politically charged. The APC argues this framework teaches students to view society through a lens of grievance, not unity. The handbook's emphasis on gender identity and preferred pronouns is also criticized as ideological enforcement. The APC worries this creates barriers between parents and schools on sensitive issues. By quoting union documents, the APC aims to show their concerns are grounded in fact, not speculation. The strategy is to let the union's own words speak for themselves. The APC hopes this direct evidence will convince more parents to question union influence. The message: the union's agenda isn't hidden, it's written in black and white. For the APC, this is a call for parents to demand transparency and accountability. The APC draws a direct line between union activism and declining student achievement. They argue that time and money spent on politics means less focus on reading, math, and science. National test scores are stagnant or falling, and the APC blames unions for losing sight of academic priorities. The group contends that political distractions have created a crisis in the classroom. Parents worry that activism is replacing academics, leaving students unprepared. The APC's message is simple: more politics in schools means less learning. Unions may argue other factors are at play, but the APC is firm. Activism is driving academic decline. For parents, this is a wake-up call to demand a renewed focus on student achievement. The stakes are nothing less than their children's future. The APC's lookout is a call to action, not just a list of complaints. Parents are urged to get involved, attend school board meetings, ask questions, and demand transparency. The APC provides templates for formal complaints, empowering parents to make their voices heard. The goal is to hold school boards accountable and prioritize student performance over politics. The APC wants parents to insist on transparency in curriculum and teaching materials. They believe a grassroots movement of engaged parents can push back against union influence. Real change, the APC argues, starts from the bottom up. The lookout is designed to give parents the tools and information they need to take action. The message: parents are not powerless. They can shape the future of their children's education. The time to act is now. At its core, the conflict is about control. Who decides what children learn? The APC insists parents have the primary right to direct their children's education. Their report calls for transparency, parental approval of sensitive content, and accountability for decision-makers. The APC argues parents have been shut out while unions and administrators make decisions behind closed doors. The lookout is an attempt to rebalance power, putting parents back at the center. Unions argue educators are professionals who should guide curriculum, but the APC sees this as sidelining families. This is a fundamental clash: parental authority versus professional autonomy. The APC's warning is a rallying point for a growing movement demanding change. The outcome of this battle will define the future of public education. One thing is certain: the fight for parental rights is just beginning.